This is a Century import Romanian style AK rifle. I do like this rifle, however it's having some magazine fitment issues. I'll detail those issues and what I do to resolve them. Here you go. Most of the surplus magazines I have actually won't lock into this gun. Even if I push them very hard, they will not go rearward enough to lock into position. Other magazines that I do have that do lock into position have lockup that's so tight, I'm actually unable to operate the magazine release without the additional leverage provided by a screwdriver. So upon investigating the reason for the magazine issues, I found that the clearance on the Century between the receiver and the magazine catch here is much smaller than all of my other AK pattern rifles. So here we'll measure the clearance on my Yugo. We can see we're reading 5.65 millimeters. And the clearance on the Century here is almost a full millimeter less, 4.86. So the solution here is to remove some material from the top of this magazine catch.
Here we're marking the reference of how much material we want to remove to.
So by taking away material from this magazine catch, I've solved the issue of the magazine not being able to go rearward enough to lock into position. What's interesting though, is I'm still having an issue with magazines getting stuck in the receiver. So here on this magazine, I can see that the latch moves freely now, but the magazine won't come out unless I smack the back of it. I initially thought that the problem was caused by insufficient clearance where the magazine's inserted into the receiver. But I've since determined that from measuring this dimension and comparing it to my other AKs, this mag well is within spec. The issue actually lies from inside of the receiver where there's some metal here. And I determined that because I saw wear marks developing on the magazine that I had to force in and out of the receiver. On a typical AK pattern rifle, there would actually be divots on either side of the stamped receiver. This being a Romanian receiver, instead of the divots, it has inserts on the inside of the magazine that provide a pinch on the magazine to keep it from wobbling. So to remedy this issue, I'm actually going to take some material away from that inside piece. Some wobble in that one. I think this is good. Once I clean all these metal filings out of the receiver, I'm sure it'll loosen up a little bit.